Hi, so I'm going to do a little session today with a short warm-up and then popping onto a roller and showing how those exercises largely can be done on a roller as well, just to give you a little bit more challenge. So we're just going to start off by laying down on the mat and popping a couple of head supports underneath to protect your neck. I'm just taking a moment to get yourself into a neutral position. So you just lift your bottom up once, place it back down, ensure that your pelvis is level, that your rib cage is starting to just soften down into the mat, and just dropping your chin down and widening through your collarbones. So hands onto the tummy, just doing a couple of nice big tummy breaths, belly breaths. So as you lift on your in-breath, and as you breathe out, feel how your ribs soften down a little bit more without tucking your pelvis. So if you feel that you need to just put another mat or a small book in the small of your back just to keep your pelvis level, that's another option. So let's just do a couple more breaths here. So as you breathe in, breathing in through the nose and just breathing out through the mouth. Double checking everything is level through the feet, knees, all hip distance apart. One last breath here. And then a breath out. So if you take a pole, or you could just do it with a flex band pulled, or just with your arms, keeping everything in neutral now, just testing rib cage placement here. So we're going to breathe in and bring the hands up to the ceiling. So we're about shoulder width apart. As you breathe out, take the arms behind you. At the same time, sinking your rib cage down, keeping heavy on the tailbone, not letting your ribs lift. So keeping that rib connection. So you're aiming to reach to the wall behind you, stretching through the fingertips. Do a breath in here. As you breathe out, bringing the pole back down onto your lap. So breath in, hands come up just above the shoulders. As you breathe out, a gentle pull on the pole to engage through some of the shoulder muscles. Reaching behind, sinking the rib cage, getting that lovely stretch through. Breath in. As you breathe out, the hands come back down. The pole rests back down to your lap. One last time here, breath in. Breathing out, reaching behind, rib cage staying down, getting a great stretch through the shoulders. This time we're going to finish off with the pole just above the shoulders. We're going to reach up to the ceiling, feel the shoulder blades peel off the mat, and then retract and draw the shoulder blades back down to the mat. So rib cage in neutral again, just sliding, gliding the shoulder blades around. And last time here. So we could thread the pole through the legs. Shrug the shoulders and reach down. Shrug the shoulders, obviously dependent on your arm length here, how much movement you can get. It's quite a nice little addition just to get some elevation and depression of the shoulders. So we're just going to pop the pole to the side. We're just going to simply cross the legs over here. Just take the arms out to the side, just slightly lower than shoulder distance. And we're just going to drop the knees over, look to the opposite direction if that's comfortable on the neck. Breath in here. As you breathe out, you draw back through the rib cage, then the waistline, then the pelvis back into your neutral, heavy on your tailbone. So we drop into the other side, just giving a stretch through. So I'm not attempting to touch the floor with my legs. I'm using my waistline to pull back into the middle. Just do two more. So reaching, so this is a nice rotation through the spine, just to warm up. Keeping the rib cage connected all the time so you're not going into extension, and really using your waistline to draw you back in rather than just pulling the legs back in. One more here. Reaching out, just finding that lovely rotational stretch, keeping the shoulders relaxed, shoulder blades on the mat. Less is more here sometimes, and reaching, stretching, and crossing our legs over like this gives us a little bit of extra stretch. So we come back to hip distance apart, bring the heels a little bit closer, remove any mats you may have under your lower back or your neck into a hip roll. So this is where we want the feeling that the tailbone is lifting, the pubic bone is lifting, the lower back is lengthening into the mat, and then squeezing through the glutes, pressing through the big toe, little toe heel as you lift to the top height. Remember, not to let the ribs go. You want to keep the rib cage here, and you're sending energy through the knees, using your glutes to open up the fronts of the hips. Breath in to hold here. As you come down, collapsing through the breastbone, finding the movement through your upper back, mid back, lower back, like a bicycle chain, tipping back into neutral where you have your lower back gap, but the ribs are connected still. Let's do 2 more. So you peel through, slow this down, enjoy the stretch. Trying not to rush up to your top point. Really think about what's working here. Should be massively in the bottom muscles, and then keeping the bottom muscles switched on as you peel down, relaxing the shoulders nice and wide, dropping the chin. One last one here. Breath in as you breathe out, peel through, squeeze, 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 send the knees over the feet, breath in at the top, and as you breathe out to peel back down and land the pelvis. So we can do all of these things on a roller, pretty much all of these things. You may need some support. If you needed support on the floor with a head block, you may well need a towel just to support your neck again. So if you feel that you need that, then pop a towel. So hip distance apart again, same thing, have a little bit of a lower back gap, ribs are connected. We can do some arm opening here just to stretch out through the chest. Remember not to let the ribs go. So the rib cage stays down and you're lengthening through the arms right to the fingertips. Give yourself a little hug. You can take this out to different angles. So remember the fibers across the back, pecs, fan in different angles, different directions. So these fibers are a little bit shorter generally as you go more vertically. And again, just coming up to a slightly more of an angle, so almost directly above our shoulders here. So you're almost into your rib cage placement exercise. So once again, we can take hold of the pole and we can do that rib cage placement exercise. So the ribs stay down, breath in as the hands come up. As you breathe out, you reach overhead, and it's a reach of the fingers. You're not aiming to get to the floor. It's really just lengthening as much as you can through the fascia. Breath in here at the top. As you breathe out, come back down with the pole back down to your lap. Breath in, the hands come up, rib cage sinks, keeping in neutral, reaching, reaching, reaching to the wall behind, stretching through, should be a great stretch. Little pull on the pole as well will help you get the shoulder stabilizers working a little bit of activity around the shoulder blades. This time we're going to finish off bringing the pole just above the shoulders into your protraction, retraction. So you're grabbing hold of the shoulder, the roller with the shoulder blades, you get a little bit of a massage and reach and stretch. So as well as getting massage with the roller, by leaning on the roller, you can get this great little workout here. And then release that down. So another way of just massaging while we're here is just rolling across the muscles either side of the spine, just opening up through those so you get that little bit of massage. And also you can do your breath work here. So as you breathe in, lifting the belly, feel the full expanse of the rib cage, and as you breathe out, softening down again. So this is a great place to do breath work, because you can really get the full extent of rib movement. And just one last breath here. So a little bit of imprint, so rib and hip connecting, lower back is flattened, keeping that connection, hands down to the mat, and just challenge the abdominals slightly by bringing one leg up to a knee fold. Try and relax the shoulders, keeping the belly button down as you bring the leg down, keeping that connection. We could bring the other leg just up to your knee fold. So just challenging that imprint, holding the ribs and hips together. Once again, you could just increase the challenge. I'd bring the opposite arm up. You could increase your challenge by going out, keeping the ribs down. So getting that little bit of extra challenge, it really does help you find those abdominals, find the muscles that hold the rib cage in position. You could add some weights on here, or a can of baked beans to the hand just to increase the challenge again. And then lastly, The hip roll works quite nicely here. It's a very different feeling to on the mat. You need to take a towel out if you have one underneath you. Again, heels a little bit closer in. Feel that you tip the tailbone, pick up the pubic bone, pull the belly button in, pressing through the feet evenly, sending away with the knees, squeezing the glutes, and then finding the roller as you peel down and land the tailbone. So just 2 more of these, keeping the knees connected, squeezing through the glutes, sending the knees away, finding the roller. So it's almost easy to cheat a little bit with the roller because you haven't got far to go, but you've got to really work through the vertebra again. Really lovely position for the shoulders to open up the collarbones so you don't end up hugging in with the chest. Last one here, all the way down and land. So it's a great place to work. And you can do a really nice little short workout there, just that will really open up your chest as well. Hope that's been useful.